please? I haven't seen it yet.
What's the Dennis Prager one? I haven't seen that one. The one I was. You think
The
I'll like
anti-baby
it?
one.
Can
I don't know how many you have, but the anti-baby one is what jumped out to
can
me.
I just give a little context to this clip
Sure.
because
Please.
he's so. I put it on because this has nothing to do with anything. It's just it's just shocking. For some reason, Dennis Prager, I believe last night in Beverly Hills, had a debate with an Orthodox rabbi, and over the concept of like free will and also like whether human beings are innately good. And so yes, so this is him teeing this debate up about what he disagrees with in terms of Orthodox Jews about the innate goodness of people, and then he starts talking about babies.
I knew that people were not basically good. I would say by 5th grade, because I had a religious education. The only reason that I am even doing this debate is that the individual that I am debating is an Orthodox rabbi, and it is very depressing to me when traditional Jews or Christians take on beliefs that have nothing to do with the religion.
Pause it for a
It's
sec.
depressing.
Is he someone to speak for Jewish people? I mean, like the casual way in which like Christian fundamentalists or people that speak for Christian fundamentalists like bring in Jewish people into their own fold because like really it's just about the end game of the rapture. Is like the arrogance of that is fascinating to me. I also love that He figured it out in 5th grade when he got a swirly, I would imagine, from a bully.
People suck.
No one's inherently good.
Just to update you on Prager's religiosity, he left modern Orthodox Judaism, but he maintained many traditional Jewish practices.
Oh, I didn't realize he was Jewish.
Neither did I.
Okay, so well,
Very
either
interesting.
way, that is representative of sometimes how conservatives link the two.
No, there's that Venn diagram of like the evangelical conservatives and Orthodox Judaism in terms of like you said, the end game of like everyone returning to Israel and participating in the rapture. Yeah.
It's depressing, actually. For an Orthodox rabbi to argue that people are basically good is quite remarkable. By the way, for the record, I have never once in my life said people are basically evil. However, God did say, Orthodox rabbis take God seriously.
Why is he
and the
self-soothing
Torah seriously,
with his hands?
as do evangelical Christians and traditional Catholics and Mormons. And that is where God says, I think it's 8:21, Genesis, the will of man's heart is towards evil from his youth. It's not from birth, because you're neither good nor bad at birth. It's almost absurd to speak of good or bad babies, but it's just, remember, it's absurd to speak of good babies. Babies are not kind. Babies are not murderers, not rapists, but they're
What if they
not
were?
kind. They're pure narcissism. All of life exists for them.
Wow. That was depressing.
Dennis
I'm not even a
Prager,
big like baby guy, but like, that was a little bit much,
Dennis Prager boldly anti-baby.
I just think it's so fascinating because I knew that he was that he had a Jewish upbringing, but that sounds much more like evangelical Christianity, and like it's just like this evangelical Christianity in America. I just think of like Passion of the Christ, Mel Gibson, like real just like sadomasochistic shit. Like everyone's evil, we all have to suffer except for people
You're born
rich.
sinful and you
know.
have to repent your entire life. That is like a very, what is that? Lutheranism? Which one is that?
It's definitely
I-
like I mean, it's a lot of things.
Some form of Protestantism. Yeah.
But it's all been like mixed into one big bowl to be, well, I guess also snake handling to be like American evangelical tradition, which in a lot of ways is meant to enforce and I guess put a religious coating over our capitalistic or neoliberal society. But it's really funny to hear like babies aren't good,
Babies are narcissists. They're pure
The narcissists.
narcissism. They don't think of anybody else. They don't even get me a gift.
A
That's
baby has
what
never
the-
been a small business owner. A baby has never provided a job for a single mother who's needed it. I mean, maybe, I guess. I don't know. It's how you define motherhood. And motherhood is a
Yeah.
job. So I guess baby has provided one.
Wet
Okay, so
nurses,
maybe
yeah.
babies are job creators. I don't know
Are
why
they
Dennis
even
Prager
job
has come up.
creators?
I mean, one at a time.
This is
He's
actually
been on.
like. Go
He's
ahead,
been on
Vin.
this for a while, apparently. I just searched up this Dennis Prager argument on
Babies?
babies, and from March 31st, 2014, are people born good? And in the description, take babies. Babies are lovable and innocent, but they are not good. They are
No.
entirely self-centered, as they have to be in order to survive. And then he puts quotes here. I want mommy. I want milk. I want to be held. I want to be comforted.
So this
And
is
if you
all
do
some big
not do
fetish
all
thing.
these things immediately, I will ruin your life.
He's
That's
so
not-
resentful.
That's
Well, yeah, I mean,
narcissism.
No, I definitely agree. I mean, like it's just like it's people have to be born bad if you justify that they have to go through suffering in order to meet some kind of like their
Yes.
potential either on earth or in heaven, that suffering is necessary. So I mean, if babies are born good, that automatically presumes like why don't we feed them? Like
Yeah.
why doesn't society guarantee like a basic level of standard and care so that every baby can continue to be good? Instead, it's like, well, if that baby's suffering, then maybe that'll like strengthen it in the eyes of Christ.
This actually is, I think, the fundamental question of politics that really decides where you end up is, do you think your fellow man is good or bad? And for conservatives and Prager, it's bad. So
Yeah.
it's like, do I trust you to like have control of your body autonomy in terms of abortions? No, we need to control you because people are bad. Same with we need to stop. We need to get conservative judges to protect kids from puberty blockers because we can't trust people because people are bad, and like all this distrust is fundamentally like it's anti-human, and that's where conservative politics comes
Well,
from.
and then also like you need to be compelled to work because
controlled,
because the suffering of your low wage job is actually going to make you a better person. But like it is interesting when like conservative values in that way come into conflict, because if people are inherently bad and then babies are inherently narcissists, shouldn't they be in favor of murdering them? I don't know.
I mean, they are, but that's only after they come out of the
Via
womb
abortion.
and
Yeah,
they've
hunger.
shown.
Oh yeah, you can't abort. You can't pre-murder a baby, but once they come out, you can murder them.
You can't tell how evil they are until they're out of the womb. And that's definitely what the flap test in the
Well,
in the delivery room is for.
It's
Yeah.
if you have an innie or an outie. That's how they determine it.
Well, I was gonna say, our society is just very punitive. We just fundamentally we have a very punitive society. You can relate it back to Protestantism. You can relate it back to a lot of things. But we accept that people require punishment. Whether they transgress or not. And so like the idea of inherently evil people is meant to be like the ultimate justification for why why everything from people should be given the death penalty to like why there should be overdraft fees when you happen to go over your checking accounts like balance, because people just need that. Otherwise they would fall into sin or fall into depravity or fall into laziness. You hear it all the time from like the takers and the makers. That kind of philosophy is just pervasive in our society, that people are like fall into slovenliness without like the whip.
I love the word slovenliness. All right, I want to do one more clip. One more clip, I swear. It's that Blaze TV thing. Oh yeah. Okay.
Well, I also wanted to. I was wondering really quick on the David Prager thing. He's Jewish, right? That's what he said, right?
We just found that out. Yeah.
Right. This is interesting. His argument is basically like original sin, right? The Christian idea
Yes.
that all people. Judaism rejects the idea of original sin. Apparently, I did not. I'm not. I'm not.
But he's-
religious.
That's where he disagrees with the rabbi. That's where
Yes.
he disagrees with the rabbi about what Judaism is about. He thinks that they should
Right, but he
incorporate
said he said that he doesn't like when people opine about things that have nothing to do with the religion. But that's him, not the rabbi.
I know.
The
right,
rabbi
let's-
is actually sharing Jewish doctrine.
Right.